Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief, and yeah, whiskey without the E. And tonight we are adding an E to that whiskey. Of course, we are looking at a bourbon all the way from the US of A. Quite looking forward to it. Now, I did a little bit of shopping, sample shopping, of course. And I found a local store here at just off the Grand Place or the Grote Markt here in Brussels. And I'm super excited with this little shop. Finding samples now, as you can imagine, buying big bottles. It's not always possible if you do a lot of whiskey reviews. My shelves are full with bottles that are, well, taking one sample, making a video, and of course putting it back. It's a little bit of an expensive hobby. So it's nice to find a shop that gives you an opportunity to try it before you buy it. And this is exactly what I did today. I went a little bit of a walkabout and discovered something from the US of A. Weller, 12 years old. It is, of course, from Buffalo Trace distillery, 45% ABV, and of course, matured in American oak. Now, I did try to do a little bit of digging. I'm not, I don't really know much about American whiskey. I've done short reviews on some of them. One of them was the Buffalo Trace. I did pour a wee dram of the Buffalo Trace. A little bit of a stingy guy. I did buy a small little bottle of it to do a little bit of a comparison of it. And quite excited to do a little bit of a strangeness, reset the palate, tasting something that's a little bit different, and of course putting something in the memory bank with regards to new flavors. So I did pour it about 15 minutes ago. Nice golden color to it. So I'm not sure if you can see it. There's definitely an oiliness to it. If you give it a little bit of a twirl in a glass, you can see there's some very viscous, oily stuff slowly going down the glass. So quite looking forward. Now, the mash bill, no idea. Some people speculate. Some people say, well, it's more than 51% corn. Well, la. So it's very difficult to find real information on this one. I did try, so I don't want to quote somebody that says that they are not really sure about that. So for me, it's all about the nosing and tasting. Now, I am a Scotch fan. I'm a whiskey fan without the E's in it. But over the last 2 years, I've been going around the world, picking up some whiskey, seeing if I can find something else as well to keep the mind and the nose and the palate busy. So not going to be a long video. On the nose, it is such a lovely whiskey. Now, from what I've seen, it seems that it's quite it's difficult to get one in the US, and if you can buy it, it's going to be bloody expensive. Now, here definitely was not expensive. I paid €6 for 30 milliliters. Unfortunately, that was the only bottle that they still have. They didn't have a full bottle. Seems like, well, let me know in a comment how scarce is this whiskey and how lucky am I to at least give it a go. So yeah, the nose itself, it's lovely. It's sweet. It's very sweet on the nose. 45% ABV. But even at 12 years, I was a little bit surprised. There's still a lot of alcohol. It feels like or smells like There's way more than 45% ABV. There's a sharpness to it, especially if you wake it up a little bit and you give it a little bit of a shaky. That little nail polish remover still comes through. So there's a definite sharpness to the alcohol. But once it's settled down a little bit, it's lovely. That butterscotch notes coming out. I can actually feel myself chewing a butterscotch. That lovely caramelly note that comes out. And then that sharpness kicks in. So it is quite nice, strange. So definitely something that I'm quite happy to try. There's a little bit of a vanilla notes coming through, but it's a light vanilla. It reminds me a little bit of a vanilla ice cream, but it is strong. I'm very surprised at that strong notes coming out. 12 years old, even at that 12 years old, it does feel a little bit on the youthful side. Now, from what I've seen, I think this is the oldest age statement whiskey that they make, 12 years. So for me, that's a little bit strange, but I can imagine with the warm temperature in Kentucky that they age exponentially. So 12 years must be something like dog years for me. So it is definitely nice on the nose. On the taste, cheers. Ooh, ooh. Oh my word, that is nice. Now, oh, let me just try again. Even at that 45%. Now, I would have thought the nose, it says it's going to be a little bit on the hot side. But on the taste, it is lovely. That 45% is perfect. There's a lovely sweetness coming out. That corn notes definitely showing up. It does show immediately if you give this blind tasting to any Scotch whiskey drinker. They will immediately pick up this is not Scotch. They will immediately, if they even tried 1 or 2 bourbons, they would pick it up. That is definitely something from the US. And I must say, I quite enjoy it. I'm definitely not adding water to this one. It is just nice, warm. There is a little spicy effect. No oak. And that is what I appreciate in a whiskey. No oak. Let me just try again. A little bit surprised with the oiliness on the glass does not translate into the whiskey. It leaves my mouth quite dry, sweet, zero oak, vanilla's coming through, a little bit of that caramel, butterscotch, toffee note that comes out. It reminds me a little bit of a raisins also. Now, there's a hint of a raisin note. Definitely not a sherry sweet raisin note. Oh, but it is lovely. One more try. Ooh, this is going to be dangerous. I think this is a perfect one. It's something that I will definitely recommend, especially for my Scotch drinking friends. I think you will quite enjoy it as well. So next time you come visit, my friends, expect a little bit of a whiskey tour into the Americas. Now, just on that, I did also pour myself the Buffalo Trace. Let me just put the bottle down. The Buffalo Trace, if you compare the two, so the Buffalo Trace, much lighter, of course, 12 years old, no age statement. Now, if you take the two, and I could be completely wrong, but my nose is telling me the Buffalo Trace, and let me just This is the wee little bottle. Hope it can focus. And my eyes is a little bit not good enough, but I think it says it's 40 something percent. I'm sorry, but I can't see. But if I take the two and I compare them, the Buffalo Trace and the Weller, they are so similar. Now, the Buffalo Trace, the exact same nose, but when it comes to the 12-year-old Weller, it's like you dialed it up 100%. So it's darker, richer, more flavors, but the same flavors, the same aromas. Little bit like a watered down version of the 12-year-old. And I do like both of them, but of course, the 12-year-old, you don't have to do much to it. You don't have to add water to it. And it is such a lovely, deep, dark, rich aromas coming out. So definitely compare it to the Buffalo Trace. Oh, they are good. And the 12-year-old, yep, it's like somebody dialed up the volume from a 20%, dialed it up to 100%, blasting through the nose, blasting through the taste buds. It's really something that I enjoy. So that's my opinion, my humble opinion of a Kentucky straight bourbon. And well, what do you think? Is it something that you would encourage your friends, your Scottish friends, your European friends, that, well, give them a go? What do you think? Is it something that they would enjoy? And of course, as usual, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, how much did you pay for a 12-year-old, considering this is going to cost me $6? So thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time. Cheers.